Good morning. Welcome to the December A-Team training. We're going to have a fairly short session this morning, and I want to get you off to your sales meetings, off to the rest of your days, get your work done, do some shopping, do the things that we love to do around the holidays, and so I'll just give you some quick updates. I want to start with the USAA Summit. I had an opportunity to head down to San Antonio with a group of about 50, it's a mixed group of people. There were some agents there, some broker owners, some relocation directors. There were people from Cardis, people from basically all platforms of the Movers Advantage program, and people from Vast. Vast is the technology company that created Home Circle, the place where most people most USAA members are now doing their searches and really getting connected through the program. Let's share with you some of the updates. One thing that I thought is really important, and I'm summarizing their presentation. We spent an entire day, and they had fantastic information. But one thing that I thought was a great reminder, and I know we all know this, but it's good that we constantly remind ourselves of this. This is a chart, and if you look at the blue line represents home sales since 2008. And we all know that that's taken a fairly significant dip. Actually, the home sales since 2006. Pretty significant dip until 2008, and a fairly flat market, and that's national home sales. At the same time, the red line represents the Movers Advantage program and the growth that they've seen. And you can see since 2008, they're on a remarkable growth pattern. And that's been really important to all of us. Obviously, during a time where home sales are difficult and the market is tough, to have somebody who is producing, who's growing, to be part of it, to be a significant part of it, really makes a big difference for everybody in the company. Let me talk to you a little bit about some of the things that they're working on. Home Circle, there's been amazing amounts of money that are being put into a great utility for the members. From mobile applications to better searching on homes. You can see a Coldwell Banker that's being actually shown on this slide, but like I said, Century 21 New Millennium is actually one of the companies that's showcased on Home Circle, and so when people are looking at homes in our area, they're likely to see our name. And I can tell that because looking at Lead Router and seeing how people are coming in, so many people are checking that they are USAA members. We can see it daily. Tons of USAA members who come directly from their site. They learn about us either through a coordinator because they connect to our company, or if they're not quite ready yet, they find our website and they search on us. So a ton of money being spent to really develop great tools, great systems, great things for the USAA member to utilize as they're considering and walking through the home search process. There's also a ton of money being spent on understanding how they can be better, how USAA can be better at communicating with us. And for instance, they're looking at a lot of ways to do that through mobile applications and through the Realtor portal, which we'll discuss in a minute. And things that they see as being important is if you could just get a text or an update letting you know that a client you're working with has been pre-approved and how much they've been pre-approved for, or that they've just saved listing information and they've clicked on things that they find interesting. Or when it comes to the mortgage side, we now have the mortgage portal, but taking another step to say, hey, by the way, the appraisal's been ordered or the appraisal's in. So they're working on it. They understand that that's the future of communication. They worked very heavily with us to try to understand what would really be the types of things that we'd want to see on a daily basis. And again, showing you some of the things that they were talking about. Realtor Portal has been a really nice success. It's been a tool that has worked so far. We've looked at the mortgage portal, and the mortgage portal has done a good job so far. The information is there. It takes a tremendous amount of training to get a ton of processors all to update it and to live and breathe and use the portal as their source of communication. They're not where they need to be yet, but they're doing a very good job. And actually, I have to say, I've been very pleasantly surprised at how effectively they've been able to utilize that. For those of you who have logged onto Realtor Portal, most of the commentary that I've gotten from you has been that this is a really fantastic tool. So all of us have to remember to support these things as they roll them out. And all these things are being created, obviously, with a mindset for the member and also for you as the agent as you're working with the members. Some of the things that they would like to add in the second quarter. Obviously, mortgage status updates are a piece that we're starting to get, but they want to continue to develop that so that the communication and the pieces that you want to see are there. The second piece is they want you to be able to log in and see who your members are and what houses they're clicking on as they're looking through inventory in the market. This would help us, obviously, with communication, understanding what they're looking at. All of that information is a direct feed that we provide from the MRIS, so we know that in general that's going to be active and live information. If we're communicating daily with our people, the information that they're looking at should be the same information that you're looking at. And you're going to be able to start seeing what are they clicking on, what are they saving as their searches. That information will all be available to you, and it'll be available through the portal. Their suspected time to roll that out is Q2 of 2012. Having worked with many large corporations, I would applaud them if they got it done in Q2 of 2012, but I'd really suspect that it would be later in Q3, just based on the magnitude and how big the organization is and how hard it is to create things that communicate with so many people. But these are all things that are stepping in a really great direction for us to get nice communication from USAA and through their realtor portals. Here's a slide that I thought was pretty interesting and a slide that I thought was important for everybody to see. Here's the information for all of the USAA Movers Advantage program through October of 2011. You can see that they had received through October over 92,000 of their members had contacted them either by picking up the phone and calling them or by clicking on the internet and showing interest in the Movers Advantage program, enough to where they gave information and said they wanted to be contacted. Of those 92,000, only 63,000 or 64,000 of them actually made it for placement into the network. So again, they are effective, and I know everyone that's sitting in the room has had one person that they can think of in the not so long future or not so long past where is a tough lead and maybe not the best qualified lead. But you can see that they are certainly going through and finding a significant number of the people who have contacted them and not placing them into the network, realizing that it's not quite an opportunity yet, incubating them, trying to get them back into Home Circle so that when they're ready, they can place them to us. And in the network, that resulted through October in over 26,000 settlements, and we saw the kind of growth that that represents. Here's sort of an interesting thing, and they focus probably on a lot of the same things that we focus on. They look and they say, okay, where are we missing? So they saw big blocks. First they saw, I'm going to skip down to the second one, the people that opted with a non-network broker. They're rightfully saying, you know what, a lot of that is on the broker and on us as agents to go out there and figure that out, to be competitive in the market, to win listings, to give great buyer presentations so that when we get these people, they don't think of going to another brokerage. Obviously, there's always a group of people that are that their move is canceled or postponed, and there's really not too much to do about that. But there was a tremendous block of people that maybe expressed interest, but then you can't reach them or you can't get a response. And I know that that's familiar to everybody out there. They see that as a problem too, and they see that and wanted to figure out what could they do differently to try to affect it. Here's what I thought was really interesting, and it's really not all that smart, but it's probably something that we should all be thinking about, especially if you work in the internet world, and I know that we all do, but if you're working internet leads, this is an important slide. They went to a team and they said, we're going to give you a subset of these leads, and you're going to guarantee us that you're going to make a contact with them live on the phone within 15 minutes. And we want to measure what happens if we can get to these people within 15 minutes. And here's what happened. You saw those slides, right? It was a significant number of people that they lost contact with or that they couldn't get in touch with. Well, just by focusing on making sure that they got in touch within 15 minutes, they were able to improve their initial contact, their initial call and connection to their members by 9.3%. And of those 9.3%, they were qualified people that were capable of being placed in the network, and in fact they improved their placements by 8.7%. We know that these leads in our markets, they converted at about 46 to 47%. Now, when you're talking numbers this big, that's an awful lot of buyers. And so when we're constantly preaching contact and getting in touch with people and follow-up, there's a method to the madness. And I think that this is not a slide that would surprise any of us, but it's just something that we really should focus on. And especially if you're working any kind of an internet lead contact program, I would suggest that 15 minutes is really the minimum. And in fact, probably 5 minutes is really what's effective. People are immediate nowadays. They want contact. But USAA is not the only thing that we've worked on. And I wanted to share with you that, I've looked at our team, and in fact, this slide was done only a week ago, and we've actually brought on Sandy Collins has just joined our team, and Sandy Collins is a relocation director who has over 30 years of experience, and she's not included in the numbers. But we have a really nice team of people who are gaining experience, who have experience, who are trying to get better at what we do. And they're trying to get better at that not only in the USAA world, not only in the Cartus world, but through our connections with the Relocation Directors Council, with the Greater Washington Area ERC, with the Worldwide ERC. We've grown our business with companies like Altair and Serva, and we're focused on trying to grow our Total Home Services program, and that will be a real focus for us. So it's not just the Cartus channel. We're going to be focused on trying to grow the business for you, trying to provide more quality leads that are solid and can be converted in the same kind of expectations that we have with the Cartus and the USAA business. What's all of this meant for us? These are good numbers for us to review and just make sure we're aware of. Since 2008, in 2008 we had about was 3,178 leads. And in 2011, we look like we'll do 4,653 leads. Actually, we'll do a little bit more than that. So that's really nice growth, and that's something by itself to be proud of, and that has to do with a lot of your hard work, the reputation that we're gaining, the things that you're doing to let the network know that we're the right place to go to. But the reason why they really notice us is if you look at our settlements, in 2008 there were 842 settlements. In 2011 there'll be a minimum, and actually our December is huge. If half of it closes, it'll be the biggest December we've ever had. And we look like we'll do a minimum of 1,630. So while our leads are growing really nicely, our conversion of those leads is also growing. And so not only are we getting more leads, but we're getting better at what we do with those leads when they come in. And that's meant a difference for the agents of the company. If you look at what the average income for an agent was in 2008, and this is just on the business development business, and this is after all fees are paid, after the referral fees are paid, after any transaction fees are paid, after the service fees are paid, local, state, and tax. These are the actual checks that are taken home. So the average income has grown from $18,000 all the way up to $38,000. So we're on a really good path, and we expect that to continue to grow. In large thanks, in the past at this time of year, I think I've asked you to kind of stop and maybe give thanks or think about how lucky we are to be part of these programs when so many other companies are not. This year, I won't say that that's a bad idea, and it's certainly always good to to look around and be thankful for what we have. But it's really my turn to be thankful for all of the people that support this business. We have the very best agents. We are still tracking and look like our quest for triple platinum is a real possibility, and we'll know within days where we stand on that. Our office managers, our POCs who help us with ReloSpec, who do all the placements, who follow up on the updates. I would say that they do the job of really what often a relocation director does. And our transaction coordinators, who have been awesome, who understand the needs of these kind of clients, and who will go out of their way to make sure that the paperwork that's needed is done correctly and it's done on time. The Lockheed Martins and the USAAs of the world, they have high expectations. Our transaction coordinators are so in tune with it. They do such a fantastic job. Our branch leaders understand this business from top to bottom. They're committed to it. Todd and Mary Lynn create an environment in the company where they have the opportunity to be leaders. And we're really so different than so many companies in that our branch leaders actually do the assignment of the referrals. So many companies out there, when I tell them that we do this, they can't believe it. They can't believe that a branch leader would make the assignment. And to me, I can't believe that they wouldn't do that. We have such a great team of people, but it really comes down to having the best agents. If we didn't have the best agents, none of this would happen. And so if thanks are due to everyone who works so hard, everyone who cares about this program, everybody who buys into all of the little things that need to be done in order to be successful in this business. And so I can't thank you enough. I can't praise you for the work that you do enough. I appreciate it, and I want you to take the rest of the year, take care of the people that are still active and that are working. But I hope that you enjoy the time with your families. I hope that you clear your mind. You've done a lot of work to set your business plans up for next year. Get ready to be not only as successful but more successful than we were this year. Everything looks fantastic for us, and you just do such a great job. And I thank you, and I wish you a great day.